Hey guys, so today we are gonna talk about the series from Season 1 Episode 2. You can watch this series on Apple TV. If you guys don't have time to watch the full episode, it's okay, I will summarize it for you in about 15 minutes. And if you didn't watch the previous episode, I will put the link to that summary in the description, so go check it out. Alright, let's get into the story. The episode starts by showing the deputy cutting a tree furiously. We can see he is mad and his clothes are full of blood. We don't know what happened, but we can tell he is not happy. Then the intro starts. We know the group is separated into two, one in the RV and the other on the way to the town. The camera shows the first group in the RV. It starts raining. Inside, Ethan is having his seizure. The doctor reassures Jim, who is panicking, saying he is okay, just hold him correctly. Suddenly we hear knocks on the window and someone speaking from outside the RV, saying, "You guys, let me in, I will help." But we know it's not humans, they are monsters. They can't come inside because the sheriff placed the protective stone in the RV. Jim says they have come to help us, so why is the sheriff not allowing them inside? The sheriff replies, "I'm not letting these things inside." Jim gets mad and tries to let them in, but the sheriff aggressively grabs his neck and says they are not humans, then releases him. We can say Jim is not happy with the sheriff's action. Now the camera moves to the second group. They are running to the town in the pouring rain. We know why, the truck they used got flattened by the spike traps planted by the sheriff and deputy. While they are running, the man who is high, we don't know his name yet, he falls down. Ellis helps the priest pull him up, which delays the group. They are running towards a big building on the mountaintop, the same building the sheriff visited to see his son in episode 1. The people inside the building see the group running towards them, and alert everyone by saying some group is running in front of the building. The group reaches the entrance but the doors are not opening. Everyone knocks on the door but it stays closed. Then we see Fatima, who saw this commotion and tries to open the door, but the guard does not allow her, saying they are not humans. Outside the building the monsters come, and we can see these monsters don't run, they always walk. One monster waves at Julie but she gets pulled away by the deputy. He shoots the monster that waved, but the monster just smiles. Inside the building Fatima is fighting with the guard. Then we see Donna, who the sheriff spoke to in episode 1, come down from the stairs and order the guard to open the door. Outside, the monsters walk very close to them, but the door opens before they can do anything to the group. The group gets inside safely, but Donna orders Julie and Tabby to kneel and says it's the protocol. She orders others to tie them up. Both Julie and Tabby are terrified, but at least the two groups are safe now. The camera moves back to the RV. The doctor asks the sheriff if the monsters are gone. The sheriff replies, "I don't know." Jim is mad and confused. Then he asks the sheriff, if they are not people, then what are they? The sheriff replies he doesn't know and points out the protective stone. He says, "I don't know how this talisman works, but if you place it inside the home and close all the doors, the monsters can't come inside." Jim still sees the sheriff as a joke. He is not believing what's happening there. We are back to the building. We can see Ellis is tying the man who was on drugs to the bed. Now the scene shows Tabby. She is in a room tied to a chair. Then Donna comes inside the room and reassures her that her daughter is safe. She unties her, but Tabby tries to run. Donna and her guard stopped her. Donna tries her best to calm Tabby. She says everyone in this town has experienced the things you are experiencing now. So you can see your daughter, but before that we have to speak. She asks her, "Do you believe in monsters?" The scene moves to Julie. She is also tied to a chair. We see an old man who says to Julie, "I'm here to pick peaches." After picking them, he speaks to Julie and asks whether she wants peaches too. He speaks like a kid. I think he has some issue. Julie is scared of him. Then Fatima interferes and says, "Victor, don't scare her," and asks him to leave. Then she reassures Julie that he is creepy but he is harmless. She unties her and brings her to the top floor. She shows her the room she and Ellis live in. Then she unscreens the window and asks her to see the view, but don't look down, the creatures will try to trick you, they will try to get into your head. Julie asks why she is showing her this. Fatima says it's to calm her down. We are back to the RV. They say we have to lift his leg to free him. As they speak, there is a knock at the side of the RV. A voice from outside says, "You should have let us in." The knocks get louder and louder from all sides. Jim is terrified and asks the sheriff, "What happens if they come in?" "You have a gun, why don't you shoot them?" The sheriff says it won't do anything. The doctor gets panicked as the knocks get louder and louder, but the sheriff reassures her and says they can't come inside because of the talisman. The only way they can come inside is by us letting them in. Back to the building, the deputy is lashing out at the priest on how Donna can treat Julie and Tabby by tying them up. Ellis comes in and starts to fight with the deputy, saying whose fault it is that the truck got flattened. The priest stops them and resolves the fight. The camera moves to the clinic basement where the deputy's father, Mr. Liu, is with the nurse Gina playing chess. As they are speaking, suddenly Mr. Liu starts to say, "I want to see my son," and throws a tantrum. At the top of the clinic, the camera shows Sarah. Oh, how I forgot about her. She is the waitress who somehow got inside the clinic without Gina knowing and killed the driver. She is at the side of the room speaking to herself, saying, "I won't do it, I don't want to do it." If you watch closely, we can see that something is instructing her to do things she doesn't want to do. But at the end she gives in. She walks towards the corpse and removes the screwdriver from the jaw. Back to the RV, the doctor says to everyone to firmly hold him while she pulls his leg up. When she pulls the leg up, Ethan starts to scream, but his father tries his best to calm him down. The doctor successfully lifts his leg from the rod. Back to the building, the deputy is speaking to the priest, saying his father Mr. Liu has amnesia or something like that. He says how he can't defend himself in this town, and this is the reason the deputy brought Mr. Liu to this clinic, so someone can take care of him all the time. At the top floor, Ellis is comforting Julie that everything will be alright. He says your mom is with Donna, she will take care of her. In the room, Tabby is with Donna and she talks about this place, but Tabby asks, "Are you crazy?" Seems she is not believing that. For that Donna says, "You are speaking like my sister," and she starts to tell her side of the story. She and her sister were coming from a deer hunt. They saw the tree on the road. This made Tabby freak out. Donna says, "Yeah, everyone in the town before they came here, they all saw that tree and those ravens. I think it's like a pattern." Donna says, "You were lucky you came to this town during daytime so people could help you, but she and her sister came during nighttime. When they first came there, the creatures were at the side of the road and they didn't care about them. But when they looped back, a creature was standing in the road. Donna's sister got out of the car with a shotgun and asked the creature to move, but it just stood there smiling. Suddenly it ripped the face of her sister. Donna was frozen, but when she saw another one coming towards her, she ran and crawled inside a bush and hid there. But that's when she heard that her sister was not dead yet. She could hear her screaming. The creatures were skinning her like they skin the deer. Donna says these creatures tortured her sister because they like to hunt. The camera moves to Sarah. She is taking a shower and comes outside and hugs her brother, which confuses us because she was in the clinic before, but now she is with her brother in their house. Which means she opened the door to the clinic. The camera shows the clinic. Gina in the basement helps Mr. Liu to sleep, takes the food tray, and goes up to take care of the driver. But when she enters the room, she sees the corpse of the driver full of blood. She gets scared, gets out of the room, and sees the entrance door is opened and there are two creatures standing at the entrance smiling at her. Which was so terrifying. She runs to the basement and closes the door. The creatures slowly get inside the clinic. The scene ends here. Back to the RV, Jim takes the talisman in his hand and asks, "Is it really protecting us?" When the doctor and sheriff see that, they start to scream and say, "Put it back." But before he can do that, a creature hops on top of the RV and breaks the window and lunges towards Ethan, but it's just a nightmare dreamt by the doctor. When the doctor wakes up panicked, the sheriff comforts her by saying the sun came up, it's morning. The sheriff comes out of the RV, Julie and Tabby come to the crash site with the deputy and the priest, they are happy to see them safe and sound, they hug each other. This family suffered a lot in last 24 hours, but at least the family is alive. The camera shows Sarah. She is with her brother and she is panicking, so her brother asks what happened. She tells him the truth, that she opened the door to the clinic. The scene moves to the clinic. The deputy, aka Kenny, comes to the clinic along with the doctor and priest. When he sees that the entrance is opened and the talisman is on the floor, he gets scared. He runs down to the basement where he sees the corpse of Nurse Gina, whose flesh is torn into pieces by the creatures. When he gets into the room where his father stays, well, the monsters killed him too in the same way. He cries and hugs his father. And now they show the first scene of the episode, Kenny chopping trees furiously. And we know why. He is doing all this to distract himself from reality. I feel sorry for him. The sheriff comes and asks, "What are you doing?" Kenny replies, "I'm cutting trees to make chess pieces." Then Kenny asks, "What about the family?" The sheriff replies that they are staying now in the Colony House, which is the name of the building they stayed in last night. Then the sheriff goes to his place and sees the board saying nights without incident. He erases the number. Now we know what it means. In the Colony House, Julie encourages her brother, but he is not focusing on her. Instead, he is watching someone outside the building through the window. The camera moves towards the window and we can see a small boy in a white dress shushing him. And the episode ends here. Hey guys, so that was season 1 episode 2 of From. Man, this episode really picked up the pace after the first one. I liked how they kept the tension high the whole time. The monsters are creepy as hell, the way they just walk slowly, smile, and wave makes them even scarier than fast ones. The knocking sounds and the voices trying to trick people really got under my skin. The rain and dark atmosphere made everything feel more intense. The characters are starting to feel real now. Jim's panic and anger towards the sheriff felt natural. Kenny's breakdown at the end hit hard. I actually felt sorry for him when he was chopping that tree like crazy. Donna is tough but fair, and the way she explained things to Tabby was strong. Even Victor with his peaches was weird in a good way, creepy but harmless, just like Fatima said. The talisman rules are interesting, and I'm curious to see how they work. The nightmare scene with the doctor was a nice touch too, it showed how stressed everyone is. Overall, this episode felt tighter and more suspenseful than the first one. The ending with that little boy in white shushing Ethan gave me chills and made me want to watch the next episode immediately. From my point of view, this episode is a solid 8 out of 10. It built the mystery really well without giving too many answers, and the horror moments landed perfectly. What did you guys think? And the link to my summary of episode 1 is in the description. See you in the next one. If you liked the story, subscribe, like, and hit the bell icon.